All right, go ahead and find your notes sheet for today, Lesson 18, Strategies for Solving Right Angle Triangle Problems. This is also your homework number 18. So if whatever you get done in class today, if you get it all done, you won't have homework. Make sure your name is at the top. Today's date is 3/8/18, and today's class period is 4. So all of this that we're doing today is review. None of this is new. We're just now doing it all together. So what we're going to do is we're going to classify each of these types of questions. What information does it give you? What information is it asking for? And what strategy do you need to use to solve it? It also has the lesson number in case you are lost or stuck. Your notes will be in your lesson. So this question says, what is the measurement of the missing side? So the information that it gives you, well, it gives us one side right here, and it gives us one side right here. So we can say it gives us 2 sides. When it says what information is needed, it's asking for the measurement of the missing side. So when we ask this question, what are we trying to find? One side. So if you think to yourself, what flashcard does this match with? It gives us 2 sides. We need one side. We're going to go with Pythagorean theorem. And the Pythagorean theorem, like we wrote on our flashcard, is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So as you're doing the review problems in this packet here, if you come across one that asks, that follows this rule with 2 sides and it's asking for a 3rd side, if you get stuck or need help, go look at your notes for lesson number 11. So we should see you taking out your folders and looking through there if you're lost or stuck. Let's look at the second type of question. This one is asking, how long is AB? When we look at the question that asks us, what information does it give you? Well, we're given one angle here, 30 degrees, and we're given one side. So we have a 30-degree angle and a side. Anytime you see this number, or a 60, that should make bells go off in your head, because that's going to be a 30, 60, 90 triangle. When it asks what information is needed, well, it's asking for AB, and we know that AB is a side. It's actually the hypotenuse here. So what information is needed? We'll say one side. From our note cards, we know that if we have a 30-degree angle, we're going to use the 30, 60, 90 rules. If you get to that type of question and you're lost or stuck or confused, you can go look at your notes for 13 part 1 or 13 part 2. I would recommend 13 part 2. Go ahead and put a little star next to that. That one has the 4 steps that you're going to need to solve these questions, and it has 2 really good examples as well. Let's look at the next question here. What is the measurement of each of the legs? So the question that says, what information does it give you? Well, it gives us kind of some important information here. We see this little mark here and the little mark here. That means these 2 sides are the same, and it's a 90-degree angle. So we automatically know that the last 2 sides have to be 45 degrees. So it gives us 45-degree angles. It also gives us one side. So what information is needed? Well, it's asking for the measurement of the legs. So those are sides. So we can say it's asking for sides. Again, this number should make little alarm bells go off in your head. When we are trying to figure out how to solve this type of question, this is going to be a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So 45, 45, 90 rules is what we'll use to solve this type of triangle. Again, if you're lost or stuck or confused when you're solving these review problems, go to your notes. Like I said earlier, I would recommend 13 part 2 because that's going to have all of your steps. All right, next type of triangle says, how long is AC? So the question that says, what information does it give you? We're given, I see one side right here that it gives us. So we can say one side. And I see one angle that it gives us, that 40-degree angle. So one angle. Now there's nothing special about a 40-degree angle triangle. So we're just going to treat it as one side, one angle. For the question of what information is needed, well, it's asking how long is AC. AC right here is a side. So the information that's needed is one side. If you look at your note cards, when we're given a side and an angle, and we're trying to find a side, we use trigonometric ratios. These are the very first ones that we learned. The sine equals opposite over adjacent, or sine of theta equals opposite over adjacent, etc. If you get to this type of question on your review and you don't know what to do, lesson 15 has 2 really good example problems. Especially if your missing sides end up on bottom, go look at the example from that one. The last type of triangle question that we're going to be looking at is this type. What is the measurement of angle B? So our question that asks us what information does it give you? Well, I see a 3 here and I see a 7 here. So it gives me 2 sides. And for the question of what information is needed, it's asking for the measurement of angle B. So we need 1 angle. We know from our cards that if we are given 2 sides and we're trying to find 1 angle, we need to use the inverse trigonometric ratios. If you get to this type of question and you're lost or stuck or confused, you can look at your notes from lesson 16. This is the one that we did on Monday of this week. So what you are going to do now is open your packet. You'll see 9 questions. They're all labeled, problem number 1 all the way through 9. I'm only expecting you to do 7 minimum, so you can choose any 7. However, these are questions that are directly off of the quiz that you're going to take tomorrow. So if you get all of them done, then you'll be really, really prepared for the quiz. You're going to do these just like we did the examples, where you fill in the information it gives you, fill in what it's asking for, and what strategy you're going to use. Then, unlike the front, you're actually going to solve it. So this is where your notes come into place. If you're unsure how to solve it, go look at those notes and then show your work here. You should be able to get at least 5 problems done by the end of class before we take the exit ticket. So at this point, the substitute, you can go ahead and pause the video in just a minute. Students, you're going to work as hard as you can. I expect really, really good things that the sub says about you and the hard work that you have. You can work with a neighbor, but if the sub sees that you're off topic or you're goofing around or getting distracted, they will move you to the bean table in the back of the room so that you can focus. At about 8 minutes before the end of class, we'll go ahead and start the exit ticket for number 18. So go ahead and stop the video, work hard, and then be ready for exit ticket number 18 about 8 minutes before the end of class.